Welcome back to another unsolicited and uneducated football analysis by your friend David Valentin. This time, in a quick manner, we're going to go over the situation with Orlando City. I did a similar video a few weeks back. Obviously, games have been played, situations have changed. Orlando City has failed to accumulate points in the last four games, and if it wasn't because the teams around us also had hit potholes along the way, Orlando City today could actually be in 10th place. But fortunately for us, other teams have crapped the proverbial bed. And this is the situation that we have right now. As you can see on your screen, New England Revolution has already clinched its place on the postseason. They are going to have a very cushy way into the playoffs as they are going to be playing two games less than all their competition around them in the month of October. And they're going to have a bye on the first weekend of playoffs. So, finishing first has its benefits. They're going to be lifting the supporter shield. Good for them. This is just 3 years of building a roster that can compete, and certainly with that, 17 points there, if my math doesn't fail me, difference between them and Nashville, they have definitely commanded the league this year. One of the main things that you hear a lot of people say, and if you can see here where I'm circling the home record in MLS, you have to win your home games. And if you do, you are going to get to the postseason. And they have an impressive record of 11 victories, 1 defeat, and 2 ties at home. And also, look at this, 8 victories on the road. That is more than anybody else. And you can see everybody else in the East. Nobody has a record that comes close to that. Where is Orlando City right now? Okay, so Orlando City is here with 38 points in 5th place. That means that if the season were to end today, basically we are looking at being on the road. That is something that is, we can only blame ourselves for that. We're tied in points with Philadelphia. And the tiebreaker there is the amount of, actually, no, I believe the tiebreaker there is goal differential. And the fact that they also have 1 game less than us. So at one point, our goal differential was incredible. -1 right now. When you see Nashville and New England with 20, New York City with 14, Philadelphia with 7. So right now, out of all the teams making playoffs, we're the only one in negatives. And if you see the people with negatives are really at the bottom of the table, quite possibly not making the playoffs at this point. When I look at New York Red Bulls, Chicago, Cincinnati, and Toronto, I believe their seasons are pretty much over. Miami still has a chance. Columbus has a chance. Atlanta has a chance. So what do we need to do in order to make playoffs? Well, let's take a look at our schedule. As I am recording this on the 28th of September, we have a game tomorrow away at Nashville. Critical game that has to be a result. We need right here, we either need a tie or a victory in order to preserve our advantage over the teams that are trying to push into the playoff spots. That's Columbus, Atlanta, and Miami. And the month of October is jam-packed with games. We'll come back at home this Saturday, hopefully after getting a result in Nashville. And at that point, this has to be a must-win, regardless of what happens at Nashville. This is a team that is in playoff position. I believe that we have a better talented team than theirs and that we can win. We defeated them at home earlier in the season, but also reminding everybody that they have played a game on Thursday. We played them on Saturday. So it was complete disadvantage for DC. But we definitely have to, I can reinforce that we have to win this game with DC. Then after that, we're going away to Cincinnati that just fired their manager. This has to be a win. To me, if we do not win at Cincinnati, game over, no playoffs. And even if we make them, how can you say honestly that you're going to be a competitor, a contender, if you can defeat Cincinnati that is in shambles, even though it's an away game? Then after that, we return home. We play against a Montreal team that I believe we can defeat with 11 men on the pitch this time. It's critical that we get points from Montreal. Montreal, we got to play them one more time after that. As a matter of fact, on decision day, away. So at that point, quite possibly, it's going to be them or us fighting for a spot. Who knows what spot that's going to be, but we definitely need to get points from them. Again, if you're playing at home, you got to get a result. I believe we can get a result against New England. They showed some weaknesses on their game that we can exploit. I believe that had it not been for Nani missing that PK, we would have gotten a result in their house, which is a very difficult place to play, but it was meant to be. Columbus, current champions, they're in a fantastic form, pushing through, trying to get into the playoffs. We have to defeat them. It's just plain and simple. Depending on how all these games go, obviously, if you're looking this into in the future, you can look back at this and go, well, this did not happen, that did not happen. But where I stand here on the 28th of September, at that point, I believe Columbus has to be a win. Same with Nashville. I think we matched pretty well with those guys, and we're going to be at home. And finally, against Montreal all the way. So that's where we are, my friends. There's 24 points on the table. And there's we need at least 15. 15 is the magic number to secure. Historically, any team that has gone over the 50 points has a place in the postseason. And as of right now, since we find ourselves in a place where even if we make the playoffs, we are not going to be hosting, it's critical that that we get back to fourth or third place. But again, we also are going to be depending on other teams doing bad. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I think that the boys definitely need to get it together. I know there's been injuries. The situation with Pato at this point, I'm going to say it. I just do not see this man ever playing again in purple for the Lions. I think it was just a gamble that we took. Unfortunately, did not pay it off. Even if he was to play tomorrow, the games at hand are so it's such a small sample that it's very difficult for him to come in fantastic form and be a factor where we are going to be a contender. And he's going to be the miracle player coming out of the tunnel. I just don't see it. One thing is Hollywood, and the other thing is reality. So more to come about that. Obviously, as the teams, as Orlando City plays the remaining games, obviously we'll go back and see if our expectations and our forecasts panned out. But that's where we are right now with Orlando City. Again, this week came on Wednesday at Nashville and at Orlando versus DC this Saturday. You have the opportunity. Please show up. Let's support the Lions. With that, see you on next video. Vamos Orlando.